this is Daniel Johnston from ReadersandWritersParadise.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing Hideout by Korman. So, Korman is one of my all-time favorite kids authors, if not my all-time favorite. He came to my school in 5th grade, and that's how I first heard about him, and as soon as I read Swindle, I just loved it. And Hideout's the 5th book in the Swindle series. So there's Swindle, Zoo Break, Framed, Show Off, and Hideout. And then the 6th book is coming out soon as well. So Hideout's the 5th book in the series. They're all standalone series, or standalone books. So this book is kind of a continuation, though, of the first book, but I'll talk about that a little later. But they're standalone books, and they're about these characters. The main character is Griffin Bing. He's like the man with the plan. He's like the leader of this group of friends. And then in their group of friends is Ben, who is he's Griffin's best friend, and he's like can fit into tight spaces. And then there's Savannah, who's like an animal expert. And so you see all the members of the group have their own special like thing that adds to the group, and makes the group able to do things better. And with all of them combined, they're able to form a good team. So also in their team is Pitch. She can climb. And then there's Logan, who is able to act very well. He's aspiring to be an actor. And then finally there's Melissa. She's a computer person. So there's this 6th group of friends, and they go through all these different adventures together. So the adventure in Hideout is that so in the first book they were swindled by a guy named S. Wendell Palomino, nicknamed Swindle. And so he had a guard dog named Luther. This guy on the cover, all the Swindle series books have a dog on the cover. And but yeah, and so in Swindle, that he is this guy S. Wendell Palomino steals a $1.2 million baseball card from Griffin, and that's when he puts together the team and goes after Swindle. And a bunch of stuff happens. In the end, Swindle has to sell his card shop and leave, and he leaves his guard dog behind. And so Savannah, being an animal lover, of course takes Luther, the guard dog, and he's like a vicious dog, but she gets along well with him and stuff. So he's beloved to her. And but Swindle in Hideout wants the dog back. So they're having to hide Luther all over the place. And during Hideout, they end up going to summer camp. And so they have to hide a 150-pound dog who's not all that well tempered in a camp with hired goons going after the dog. So the book starts off with so there are 3 hideouts in the book, because they have 3 camps. So the book starts off with Luther going with Griffin and Savannah, and then their position is exposed, so they send the dog over to, I think, Melissa and Ben, and then they send the dog over to Pitch and Logan, I believe. And so, all the time these hired people are trying to take the dog from them. And, Griffin, the man with the plan, comes up with all kinds of inventive ways to hide the dog and to get away from these people. And the ending's really good. It's really funny, and it's also really suspenseful as the gang and their dog are confronted by Swindle and his henchmen. So it's I think this book is pretty much like Gordon Korman at his best, because he's able to mix the humor, which he started off his career with adventure, because Gordon Korman may be known now as like an action adventure writer. Originally, he started off as a humor writer, writing books like the Zucchini Warriors and let's see, Beware the Fish books in the McDonald Hall series, which are like hilarious, and they're meant the laughter is what keeps the pages turning. In the 90s, with Island, Gordon Korman switched to writing action adventure books, although he still wrote some comedic books, like Max Comedy, The Funniest Kid in America, and stuff. And but anyways, so he's switched more to adventure, but I think in this book he does a really good job of mixing his two styles together, which I don't think he's done it nearly as well before, because he's been really good at adventure, really good at humor, but now he's getting really good at mixing them together. So I think this is really Gordon Korman at his best. I mean, this is an excellent book. There's not much criticism I have for it. I will say I feel like the series is getting a little tired out, which is why I'm not super excited for this sixth book, which I think the sixth book is called, it's about like the kids stumble upon a $30 million lottery ticket, and there's an excerpt from it on the review in my blog. I have a link to it, and it's on GordonKorman.com. But I'm not super excited for it, just because I feel like, it's like a standalone series, and it's like the same kids, having, a lot of the same adventures, just in different ways. Like with Swindle, it was like captivating, with like, even with Framed, it was like amazing, and Hideout's a very good book. I feel like, for me, having read all 5 books over a period of like 6 years now, it's getting a little tired, but no, Hideout's a very good book, and for like preteens, like ages 9 to 12, I'd highly recommend it. And it's really crazy, because if you go on Amazon, there are Amazon.com, it's a 4.8 out of 5 rating, and there are a lot of reviews. I don't remember how many, I think like 40 something, and then there are like 2-3 star reviews, and like those are because like the shipper took too long or something. Then there's a couple 4-star reviews, people who still like the book, and all the rest are 5 stars. So there's not a single person who reviewed the book who doesn't like it. And I've never heard really of anyone not liking these books. So Gordon Korman's books are great, and kids love them. So I'd highly recommend reading this book if you're a preteen, or getting it for your kid if they're a preteen. I'd probably recommend reading Swindle first, though, because, as I said, like, this book's kind of a continuation of Swindle, in that, like, it's Eswindle Palomino trying to capture his dog, who was taken from him in book 1. So it helps a little bit better to read book 1 if you can, so that you can understand it. But yeah, it's a great book, and I've been very impressed with it and with Gordon Korman's writing. So thanks for watching this review. I have a link below if you'd like to purchase the book, and you can also check out my website, readersandwritersparadise.com, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have different book reviews, audiobooks. I even have some of my original short stories that I posted. So yeah, subscribe and check out my website. So I'll see you later.